Check, check. Welcome in, everybody. Glad to have you guys here. Glad to have everyone here on the correct night, not last night. Beyond, I think that's that meat company, right? I'll have to check on that one. I haven't heard that one in a while, but I got on the list for you. We'll see how many more people trickle in. We'll give a couple minutes. Appreciate you guys being on time. Still a pretty small class as of now. Apple bearish. I see your request. I agree with you with one condition. I think we need to break 230, I think it is, but we'll definitely take a look together for sure. All right, I'm gonna send one more message, you guys, and if not, that's just a small class. We're gonna roll with it. That's all right with me. Just give me 1 second. All right, Joe. I see all 8 or 9 of you. Appreciate you guys being here. It is Monday. My schedule is off with the markets closed, but let's do this. Who was in here last week on that Netflix? Remember we talked about that Netflix breakdown? I don't know who was in here requesting that, but I was just looking at some charts. I was just like, oh man. So we talked about this breakdown last week and then the breakout or the breakdown retest short that right there. That would have been a good time right there on Thursday if anyone took that. Dominique, Dutch Bros. Yep, definitely. Write that down. All right, y'all. First things first, let's start with what we always start with, SPY and QQQ. I'm on the 4-hour chart now, you guys. When we were talking last week, we were down here. We had sold under this old all-time highs level. Ultimately, got bought back up. So for me, I already made like my little thick line I always do for you guys, just to get us going here. Any holds on 595.43 this week? Obviously, again, like I say, for scalping, there's tons of levels in between this $4 range, but longer term picture, we can see when we get over this zone here, I'm calling that just like our middle range. So this is our upper range up here, this is our lower range down here, and this is kind of our middle zone. We can see this line right here in the middle. Any pushes over, we can see the continuations. Any sells, we see continuation down, back and forth, back and forth. We now, as of Friday, we are over that. So anything over 595.43, I'm looking to play bounces on dips inside that zone, around that zone, for a push, which, if we hold this week, I think we're going to push and go retest that 600 easily. That should come easily in a day or two, as long as we get a bullish day. We could very well, also on the flip side, we could range down into here, or we could dip below and come back down. But for me, any holds of this zone here, I think 600 comes easy. I don't know what happens after that. I just know it's a huge level. And for me, any holds over, we can see what that price action does for us on that. So I'm not going to say easy because we don't know what the market's going to give us, but from a larger term perspective, meaning like, it's Tuesday, you take some calls off here and you got like a Thursday, Friday, or next week contract on some SPY, that would be my upper range target for the week is 600. Anything after that, it's anyone's guess. We'll see. But that is a big zone to play off of. Okay. Does anybody have any questions on SPY before we move on? I'll refresh on it, or I'll circle back at the very end. But we broke the trend line. We got 2 moving averages underneath us now. So for me, I'm looking to buy dips into here or wherever it comes for a push up. Or if we open at any big levels, I'll be cautiously. We can short up here, but any breaks over 598, we can't hold puts there. So, okay. QQQ, similar situation. So when we talked last, we were under that 511.45. That was a bearish signal for more downside. We got a little bit of sell, but ultimately bought back up, breakout, retest, perfect. If anybody caught that there, perfect retest, that 511.45. And now we have broken over this 518. So similar situation as SPY, kind of sort of in the middle zone here. As we can see, top range, upper range up here, this 530, this 528, lower range, 510, 511. And we are now, kind of in the middle. And so for me, QQQ, we have, get my drawing back up here. We have our moving averages catching up, and they're now back underneath. So that's going to form support. This daily 9, this purple line, dash line, that is a form of support. And then 518. So I always talk about, you guys, look for reasons to be bullish, look for reasons to be bearish. Daily closes, long time frame closes, 1 hour, 4 hour, whatever it is. Over this 518, I'm looking for trend days pushing up. Okay. I don't know how far it goes. I mentioned this in my tab last week, and he opens over that 522, 523. I'm looking at some rejections there, and we got that absolutely on Friday. So if we open, where we closed, again, push up, that is a first form of defense right there for sellers, that 522 to 523 pocket. Definitely. Do not ignore that level from Friday. Anything opens below that, I'm looking for a bearish day, not overly bearish, not on the week, just on the day for a 518 retest. Does that make sense, everybody? Again, it's a longer time frame confirmation. I'm on the 4-hour chart. If we want to talk about day trades, we'll zoom in. But that is my game plan for this week. Pay attention to my tab. We'll kind of see where we open, how we open, and my notes, my comments on that, and how we can build a trade plan off of that. Okay. Questions on QQQ? If not, I'm going to your guys' watch list. Going once, going twice. All right. First up, Beyond. Haven't played this in a while. Down to $4. All right. Let's go the daily. Might have to do the weekly too, build a game plan on it. Username R is bullish on this. And I think I can get behind that. Let me see. We're on the weekly. That's all-time low zone. Yep. All right. So all-time lows down here from this year, but we are now building a base down here. Okay. Let's get a game plan. Are you bullish or bearish on shares or options? What do you want on this? I'll kind of give my perspective, but I see a couple things I like already. Even though it's a beaten down name, no one likes this name or company. Options. All right. Trend line down here for sure. And let's see. Definitely top zone resistance for sure. Oops. Just get some quick levels free here, the ones that make sense. Breakout level, stop out level, that's what I'm looking for, or looking to give you perspective on. All right, I'm on the daily chart here. The things I like: break and hold of 4, this lower trend or support line down here. 2 moving averages have now curled under, and last but not least, a higher low is formed. So hypothetically, you want to start seeing that. It's not going to be that easy for us, but that's what I like to see. So for me, username R, I want to see either, this is a 20-cent range. It's not much, like dollar-wise, but for options, a 20-cent move, that's a big difference on if you buy the top and they sell it down, you have to hold through this. So for me, I want to see a back test this level and hold, and absolutely all day long calls bounce off of that, because old resistance is now support. Or option number 2, a breakout of hold of 4.2. Okay, why am I saying 4.2? Why does that make sense? Easy right there. Didn't quite get there. And that price action from last week. Okay, so support was support, is resistance, resistance, resistance. So what do we know about trading? A breakout and retest. So a breakout and retest of 4.2, or a trickle down into here, back into 4 flat. Like we talked about, 4 is a round number, psychological, algo number, whatever you want to call it, algo level. Anything under 4, because these moving averages are now going to curl underneath you. And now if this holds, whether we range or we break out, as long as we don't break below it, that has 3 forms of support below you. So I know you mentioned you want to be bullish on it. That is my sentiment. I'm not bearish unless we're shorting, levels up here, or break down below here. So kind of a nice chart. I haven't played this thing in several years, back in the 2020 days, 2021, when everything was pumping. I think I flipped shares in this a lot, but I have not gotten to this in a while. So nice, kind of a nice setup here. Again, this is the daily chart. Any buys off that 4 flat or 4-2, definitely. Serge, I see your comment on Google. Yep. I'm glad you mentioned that one. Google, I definitely want to go over for sure. I'm going to go in order. Apple, glad you guys mentioned this one. Apple, bit of a rough week, but a couple things to look at here. So at 2:30, let's look right where that candle closed. That's this line right here, this 2:30. And then last chance support for me before another leg down. So what do we got here? Downtrend for sure, moving averages overhead for sure, no doubt. So there's 2 moving averages working against us. And by that, I mean every time it touches, we see it reject. Okay. Every time it touches, purple dash line, reject. Didn't go get there, but you see selling pressure all the way down. So how do we play Apple? My best bet, I'm not bearish. If we open at 2:30, which is right where we close, I am not bearish because we can see all that support right there, all that support zone going back to 2:30. This is definitely going to be support. Okay. We come into that. I expect to see candle bounces like that, those huge wicks underneath for a bounce. Again, expecting, meaning doesn't have to happen, but we do not buy puts at support. Okay. So one last check at the daily, and then I'll zoom in for you on how I'd work this. So any sells under that 2:30, and we're bearish, whether it comes in a day or a week, I don't know. But to me, I'd be bearish on to come down this 226.85. Obviously, 2 or 3 big levels between there in the daily. But we can see when we get our 2:30, selling pressure, under 2:30, selling pressure, over 2:30, we see what happens. Okay. So for me, let's zoom in here. Since we are mostly day traders, we can also find a swing trade off of this as well, I think. So 2:30 again is our focus. Get my drawings back up here. So any trickles under for the person in the Zoom chat and a retest, okay, a sell down, because we want to see a candle reaction like that. So a sell down, bounce up, retest, short, get paid. Okay. Sell down or open under 2:30, take your puts there. But again, our stop out is pretty much the top of these wicks here on either a 30-minute candle or a 1-hour candle, excuse me. So again, like I say every week, if you short this, don't take this because one case says short it and you hold to all the way up here and then you say, okay, I'm going to cut my puts. No, your stop out is small, you guys. Okay, it's these candle body closes here. So we break over, we're probably going to go. It's probably a bullish trend day. Okay, any rejections under that, target. I'm not saying we're going to get that in a day, but I'm saying that's the kind of stuff to look for. Absolutely, if we reject here, absolutely that's a target. Does that target still make sense? You betcha. Look at that price action there from last week. Look at that price action there from 2 days ago. That's Friday, that's Thursday. Absolutely. If you catch that short, trim at that wick, trim at this zone down here. Okay. Very, very easy chart on Apple to trade, you guys. On the flip side, we're options traders. Anything over that, again, I'm looking for a bullish push into 230 to 230.50, 231.50. Basically, catch this price action here from Friday. Okay. Does it go over? I don't know, but I really like this chart. I would wait to see if anyone requests it. If not, I was gonna, mention this one to you guys. But again, 2:30 is all that matters to me tomorrow. So let's see where we open. We got some after hours action. We'll see where this, volume on this candle is. But Very nice chart to play off of. BROS. Thank you, or someone requested this last week. Let's see how we fared on this. Was it last week? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So textbook price action right here, you guys. Dominique, you want to be bullish? Love it. Well, let me zoom out before I say love it. But lower highs all the way. To me, that's textbook trading. Breakout retest, textbook trading. Breakout retest to this level, textbook trading. This is a very, very nice clean chart as far as how you want the market to work for you, meaning longer time frame candles, longer time frame analysis, back testing levels here. That's absolutely what we want to see when we want to try and catch a trade, because this is levels working. This is, the market working for you. When we break out, you don't chase the top, you get your retest, you take the bounce, and you get paid. Okay. Let me check the daily, see where we're at. Is this all-time high zone? I believe it is, unless I need to go back farther. Nope, stand corrected. Actually, I do remember talking about this last week, and we are still rejecting up here, Dominique. Don't remember if this was you asking about this, but I'm gonna grab these wicks again because we are still rejecting up here. These are weekly candles, but they absolutely matter. Okay, 2 new lines drawn. Price action, look at how we fared last week. Do old levels matter? Absolutely. Okay, so we pushed up one of the old weekly levels, a breakout. Again, sell down, back test the level, breakout again. This time it held, back test the level. Okay, same story, different zone. Fairly easy chart in theory. And he holds, again, breakout, retest, and he holds of this. I'm bullish for continuation. Okay, and he sells under. If you're not a put buyer, let them take their turn. Find some big levels in the 4-hour. Find these levels in here. I don't want to muddy up the chart too much on every single candle body, but for me, any sell into here, Dominique, 58.18-ish is a support level. And look at, we have a moving average. It's going to be stacked somewhere underneath there. So that's 2 forms of support. Absolutely. You either take your puts and you sell all absolutely down here, or you sell all but one, leave a runner if the markets are super, super bearish. But if you don't take puts, do not watch it come all the way down to here and go, okay, now I want to take puts. Okay, that 58.18 should be a huge bounce zone. You can zoom in on a tighter time frame to get exactly where that's bouncing. But again, I grabbed these on the daily and weekly. So, but I like this. Anything holds 59.78, bullish continuation. Any sells under, you buy the dip or you wait for the dip, whatever you want to do. Set some alerts there, whatever, however you like to trade this, or we come down into here, markets are super bearish. Again, big support and a 20 moving average is going to be underneath you stacked. Definitely. Johnny, I have not done Tesla. I would put on the list. Disney, getting beat down. Took 2 trades on that last week, 2 alerts. I think I alerted somewhere in here and then another back-to-back. I know they paid pretty well. Disney, let me go back a little bit. Let me get some lines in here in this gap for us. Because I don't want it to seem like it's just going to free fall from here, but it is. Let's see right there. Disney is looking a little rough under this zone. But the minute I talk about it, it seems like the markets hear me and sometimes they bounce. Does that wick make sense? Absolutely. All right. So I definitely, all right. I'm going to focus on this zone here. A little messy, got a lot of charts here because I day trade this guy, but let me get a different color for you just so you guys can visualize this quickly. All right, let's focus on this green line, you guys. You know how I trade. I actually just post a video out on my watch list, kind of the under over. I'm on the weekly chart. So we can see any pushes over this green line, continuation, any sells under, sell, big time. Okay. So This is the ER from last quarter. I'm gonna go down the 4-hour chart now, you guys. Actually, the 1-hour. Build a training plan for you guys. So we are halfway through that earnings candle. That earnings candle bounce up down in the zone here. But again, this is not a level I want to be overly bearish on. We need to sell through. We need to sell through. Okay. If we open up here or open up here in these big zones around here, definitely we can be bearish on it. Like any opens here, rejecting double top zone, absolutely take some puts in that zone. But if we open, anywhere around here, I'm not bearish until I see that break. And I need to see, the market follow it or something like that. But that is a big level here, definitely to pay attention to. Obviously, I grabbed that line on a weekly chart, and that from probably last 2 Fridays ago definitely makes sense. Definitely makes sense down there. So let's see where we open on Disney. If we open over this area of shorting last week, bullish push up until the next, kind of overhead resistance zone or overhead resistance zone. Let's see what we get. Let's see what the markets give us. I don't know the day after inauguration if that usually has any sentiment on the markets one way or the other, but let's kind of see how we do that. But definitely a decent zone to play off of, but let's see how we react there. Surge wants Google, I think on the 4-hour, I need to show you something here. What was I watching here? I don't want to mark it without someone requesting it. Is it the one? Here's the 4-hour. Definitely, let me slap this line real quick here because I think this maybe is a different name that had a little pin going, but definitely. Hopefully you're still here, Surge. This is a nice chart to watch. I'm on the daily, guys. We can see how much we're rejecting basically at 198. Okay, let's not be late at 198. Let's not chase at 198 because we can see, look at all that selling pressure when we get to 198. Okay, lots of selling pressure in there. So how I would play this, I'm going to zoom in here on a smaller time frame for you. You probably already know where I'm going with this. Any breakout retest, I think this name is going to fly, but we need a breakout, and that breakout must hold. Okay, so for me, early in the week, I want to see this breakout hold. And I'm not talking the 1 minute, the 5 minute. I'm talking, it's Monday morning. I'm not a Monday morning, market open kind of trader. So for me, I want to see some candle body closes over this zone. So whether we get a candle body close, it's like that, and I see a 30-minute or something like that, but I don't want to see 30-minute, 1-hour candles like this. This is not confidence to go long on this name unless we're buying the dips down here. Okay, and so any holds over, and I think this thing's going to run in a multi-day continuation, but I'm not going to catch a bottom tick here and not trim on the way up and then watch rejections like this, and let it get smacked down like an idiot and not sell anything up here. So if we bottom tick this, if we open somewhere around here, Surge, and you take this, absolutely trim here. If you have a larger port, absolutely, it's probably around 199. Say you get 5, take 3 off. Okay, the markets are not going anywhere. You can live to fight another day if it just runs and runs and runs. Okay, trim some up here, trim some over here. Look left always. 200 again, round psychological number. Absolutely. For me, this week I would treat this as probably a day trade, unless you, like you said, you have a larger port and you can afford to buy some time on this, 2, 3, 4 weeks of time. Trim at 200, leave a runner. But again, any sells under, and not to if we want to be bullish or bearish, but it's like we see sells under, let's just be honest, this is probably going to continue to reject down. Okay, but price action is getting tight on the large time frames. We have our moving averages stacked underneath us. Like I say, this is our floor down here. This is our ceiling. This right now is a brick wall ceiling of sellers. No matter how bad we want this to break out, the market does not care. Right now, the market does not want Google to go over 200, basically. 198 to 200, brick wall on Google. So treat that as that until it's not. But again, many, many weeks, going back to basically the whole month of December. Okay, this is our top. But if it's not, remember, resistance is now support. If we break this, Google, prime setup for day trades and swinging long on Google. If not, look to be bearish on that for a day trade, not swinging puts per se, but day trade easily under that level. Very nice request. I'll come back to AMD. I want to make sure I get everyone's request in. Johnny, Tesla. Okay. What are we seeing here? Reclaim of a huge level, 415.42. Okay. A little bit, we pushed midday, but larger time frame candles, a little bit of a stall out right here. Okay. Why are we stalling out right there? Does it make sense? Absolutely. We're stalling here because resistance is now support. Okay. This is resistance until it's not. I would treat this basically, Johnny, 430. Any dips? Let me zoom in here because I see some price action from last week that I would like you guys to look at here. So any breaks and holds? 230. Absolutely. Excuse me, 430. Sorry. 430. Why does that matter? Price action there. We expect or we would want that to hold. Price action from Wednesday, high of day. Stopped right at resistance. Okay. It is now support. And if this after hours and pre-market session holds, 430 is absolutely support. Do not be bearish at 430. Under 430, get bearish for a day trade. Take it down to here. Take it down to here. Take it down to these levels here. But until that, if that 430 holds, I'm absolutely looking for a bounce. I don't play Tesla a whole lot, but that is what I'd be doing. Definitely looking for a bounce on this name, Johnny. But again, it must hold because we'll get a nice curl up. And then, okay, where do we take profits? To me, that's easy, or easy as a trader with experience. Friday's high, all these wicks, these candle body closes, absolutely. Again, do not bottom tick calls, profits. You see Friday's high of day, and then we reject, and you're giving back all that money. And now, I decide to trim some. No, trim on the way up. Buy somebody's sells up here. Sell somebody that contract. You're in down here. You're up 85%, 100%, 120% with flips. Sell that. Let some other dork buy that right there at Friday's high of day. We are smart traders. Do not hold there. Do not wait for this move and then go, okay, now I want some calls here to double top on the day. Okay. Very nice chart. Nice request so far, you guys. All right, we're rolling through, checking the chat, giving everyone at least one request. Ninja, good to have you in here. Netflix, I talked about a little bit. Starbucks, I want to go over that, brother. I know you like Starbucks. I want to be bullish on Starbucks if 95 holds. Let's zoom out a little bit. Let me show this chart, man. Because I play it and a lot of people play it. I know you kind of like it. So let's look at this 95 here. Again, old support attempting, or excuse me, old resistance attempting to be support. Look at that 95. Sell down, selling pressure. That wasn't an earnings gap. This was news. I think some partnership or something. I don't remember what it was, but regardless. So let's focus on that 95. So that breakout from September, August, September, and 95 has been the bounce zone, the bounce. Okay. We sell through, we're back over it. And, let's see where we open tomorrow or this week. But anything over that 95, not gonna lie, man, I want to be bullish on this name, at least for a day trade. Trend line break combined with hold of support, absolutely. I'll be bullish on this one with you. Any sales under, man, might be seeing some weakness, catch these targets down here. A back test, it's not the end of the world. It looks like a big move. That's a $1.20 move down. Okay. So if we sell under that 95, I still kind of like it. Because we're going to come into support and guess what? We got our moving averages stacked underneath. They're going to be creeping up. So as long as we don't get a hard sell down, this is going to move up a little faster. It's a daily 9. This can move slower. It's going to creep in somewhere and hang out down here if we consolidate. But any holds under that 95, I think we can leg up. I think we could potentially swing on this name. But again, to me, 95 is that zone. I'm glad you requested that because that was another one on my list I was going to mention to you guys tonight. All right, I'm going to hold off on Netflix for now, Ninja. I want to get everyone's request in. Coin. We should ask Grizzlies on it, but Coin Amara is, for the most part, it's going to follow crypto and Bitcoin, but let's chart it out because it still respects levels. This 288.86, haven't charted this in a while. Looks like it's still, look at that. It is still meaningful. Look at that price action there. Price action there, guys. I'm on the 4-hour chart. Absolutely. I can build a game plan off this. Easy. Well, hypothetically. Sometimes the markets are not always that easy. Okay. 1-hour chart. I don't have a lot of levels marked, but any holds of that, I absolutely want to see some holds. Bounce play. Easy to be bullish if that holds. Take your trim. Take your trim. 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 Sells under. You either let sellers take their turn if you're not a put buyer, and you can try the dip buy here. You can try the dip buy down here, or send alert down here. 270 huge support plus 2 moving averages stacked. Definitely. And it can make this move in a day easy, or it can make this move in a day easy. But any opens at this level, bounce double bottomish, my first instinct is to be bullish on this name. Okay. But again, see what crypto's doing, see what Grizzlies has to say about it. But from purely a chart perspective, I like that. We are still trending up as of the last 4, 5, 6 days. Higher lows are being set. But again, we talk about structure in the market. We talk about patterns and charts, stuff like that. A little bit of messy trend line, but higher low, higher low. And we break down, that is now a break of structure, a breakdown, and no longer a higher low. We're now breaking that structure. And so, at least for a day trade, I would have to be bearish if this breaks. But we could very well consolidate, and this trend line will be negated, but the support still holds true, and be bullish on it until that breaks. Okay. Nice request. Oscar, XRP, is that straight up crypto? Can I even chart that on here? Do I got to be on that crypto app? I'll have to skip that one, brother. Ask Grizz on that. Or that's all the hype everyone's in, right? Yeah. Go to Oscar, go to the crypto tab in OT and ask them. Mitch. Tempest AI, what is that? What is the ticker for it? Or maybe I'll find it. Tim. Never heard of it, but we're going to chart it. TEM. I'm typing it. There we go. Ooh, interesting. What do you got on this one, Mitch? Are you bullish or bearish, or you just want some perspective? Because I see a couple things. Kind of deciding this week, perspective perfect. On shares or options, brother? Let me get some levels in here for you because I see a couple things I like. Options, all right. Yeah, this week is gonna, or it could consolidate more, but this week will definitely decide this move, I think. I'm gonna grab these wicks here, then I'll zoom in for you guys. Don't worry. Missed that wick there. All right. Let's zoom in because I like some things here. All right. So we were holding the lower range support, Mitch, which I like. Lower range support, upper range resistance, okay? 2 zones in between. How would I play this for me? Any bounces into this, send alert for that 35.60-ish. And a couple things to look at. We got our daily 20, that's this green line here, that's coming in dashed. So that's gonna open probably overhead. So that's a form of resistance. Daily 9 is gonna move faster. It's gonna open somewhere around there. Resistance as well. So 2 forms of resistance here stacked against you, okay? Does it make sense why it rejected there? Look at that, price action Friday. Definitely rejected, 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 okay? So my first instinct is, if we believe this after hours action, we're probably going to drip and sell down into here, which is fine. Absolutely, try a call bounce here. Try your call bounce there because you expect to see, or I expect as a trader to see price action like this from Friday. So same thing. We opened here, we trickled down, call buyers got rewarded. Boom, big move to top of the range. So you expect to see a hold of that, but if you start seeing, 30-minute, 1 hour closes under, we start seeing this price action over here, don't hold for a huge loss. Get bearish on it. Come down into here and get paid being a bear, being a seller down into there. But any holds, and I'm definitely, if you bottom tick this, definitely go to your daily chart if you're on Thinkorswim and find out where that daily 20 is, because that's going to come in overhead like this. And I guarantee first attempt, that's probably going to reject a little bit. So you don't want to be late there. If you're up, huge percent, you trim, trim half or over half. And then, okay, we break out, write it. Guess what? Next form of resistance. Boom. We keep pushing. Now you're up to runner. You're totally free, stress-free. You sold 3, you sold 2 more, you got 1. This is how you hold a runner forever, you guys. And the people that post those big gains are like down to a runner, or they say they are in gains tab. That's how you do it. Okay. Do not buy down here, hold all the way up here, let it reject, then go, okay, now I'm gonna trim down here. Okay. You guys are very, very fixated, some of you new traders, on percent gains. I know it looks sexy in the gains tab. Like, that's cool. It's cool for a screenshot. That's not how you trade. You buy calls at support, you sell at these pockets of resistance all the way up, and then whatever percent that is, it's going to be big because you're a smart trader. You're buying at support. You're not buying at resistance up here. You don't watch this whole move and then you buy. Okay. You buy at support, you get rewarded. Okay. You short the tops, you get rewarded. You short your tops, you get rewarded. Big sells like that. Okay. JJ, thoughts on swings with leaps? What is a good percent to trim? JJ, kind of just like I just talked about. So if you are swings and leaps on things, you absolutely, you get your entries. This is just an example of a chart. This is where, so when we break, I mean, obviously this is hindsight. So JJ, when we break support here on the daily, this is where, we break trend line. This is just a quick example, you guys, just for perspective. We break a trend line on the daily. That's where you swing short, with lots of time. Trim, trim, trim. Obviously, it's in hindsight. And now you go the daily and the weekly and go, this thing has held this level for going on 2 months now. This is where, JJ, you start looking. I got moving averages curling underneath. I got support holding. This is an example of how you find swings and leaps on stuff. I'm not saying take it on TEM, but again, as an example, you look at this and go, okay, I got a large portfolio. I can buy 6-8 months of time, whatever it is. And you see stuff like this, all this consolidation down here, this is where you swing and get long. And then when you catch the breakout of these levels, you are just riding this stress-free. Say this thing squeezes 10% a day, everyone's chasing it, you are chilling because you're in down here. Okay. If this level breaks, for me, when I see a level break, within reason, figuratively speaking, I don't care how much time I have, I can hold through a little bit of red, yes. But when I see a support level break, I'm going to switch, get bearish, because we're traders. We can buy either way. But down the zone, you'd have to figure out, okay, if I hold at 34.60 and I hold down in the 32, I got a leap, it expires next year. How much pain will that be? You got to figure that out. But when I see a big level break, that's where I'm going to get out. But to answer your question, use the daily, use the 4 hour, use the weekly. Find some big zones like this where the moving averages are curling under, because those are forms of support, and that's where you take your swing with time expiration, that is. And as far as selling, again, I don't sell at percent ever. I don't go, okay, 50%, I love 50%, I'm selling. No, I sell here, I sell here, I sell here. Okay. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, if you want to chat more, JJ, send me a DM. All right. Norvin, cat. Oh, baby. We are pushing, but we're pushing to a bit of a zone here. Let's see what we got. Just eyeing this in real time, guys. I'm looking left. I'm looking at all these wicks right here. That's why I grabbed that line. Overhead. Now you build a plan. When you chart, you build a plan, and you chart out your lines, your resistance overhead before you get into the play. You don't get into a play in swings or day trade and go, okay, I don't know where I'm going to sell because I haven't charted anything out. You chart it out ahead of time. Right there, that wick right there. That's right where we opened. That makes sense. And this last one. Yeah, I kind of like this one, Norman. Like this name. Good find. So I'm on the daily, guys. I'm going to zoom in here. Smaller time frame. A lot of things to like on this name. Look at these dash lines underneath. 3 moving averages stacked, 9, 20, and 200. Curling underneath, that's how you catch a swing. Okay? Higher lows, that's how you catch a swing. Breakout and holds over old resistance, now support, that's how you catch a swing. Okay? For this one, Norvin, for me, I mean, you're a decent trader. 387, break and retest, calls all day. Open under for a day trade, puts. Absolutely, take puts down in here, take puts down in here. Or if you're not a put buyer, like I say, support doesn't hold, absolutely take your calls again. 382, that's a big support there. I would expect that to hold, at least on first attempt, unless markets are super, super weak. Quick drink of water. Oh, GT. Pelosi grabbed some TEM. You know what? We all made fun of Pelosi on NVIDIA. Well, we didn't make fun of her, but we said she was crazy. Look who's laughing now. So, yeah, there's a couple of people posting her trades. I think, you know what? I think it's worth a look what she's getting into and why she's getting into it. She also bought, what'd she buy? VST, something else. I mean, we can talk about this GT on trade for whatever later. But yeah, she bought $1 million worth of VST, I think, as well. But let's not get sidetracked too much. All right, I already lost my train of thought. Sorry, I think I went over this. Yeah. Yeah, Norman says he's like industrials. I don't disagree with that sector. I think industrials can make a move. Tilio likes financials. I think banks can make a move as well. Definitely. All right, catching back up. AMD. Got some stuff to look on AMD. So I know we talk about this every week. You guys are smart. You guys are here every week. Let's look at what we have overhead coming up. Okay. 122.62. Not exactly to the penny, but this is the 4 hour chart. Okay. Sell down, break support, retest, failed, retest, failed. I wish I would have seen this. I don't trade AMD a lot, but man, I guess it didn't. Okay, that was Friday. I don't know if we opened here. Did we open here? Let's check. Because that was a hell of a short. What the hell's going on? If we open there on Friday, that's a beautiful short at the top. And we did. Damn it, I missed that one. Look at that rejection there. All right. Man, caught the trade up. Hopefully you guys sold at 162 or 122.62. Let's go the 1 hour. So higher lows are being set. And again, I always talk about a ceiling. What is our ceiling, you guys? 122.62. Okay. Mark that on your charts. How do we trade this? How would I trade that is? Let me see if I catch a trend line here for option number 1. Yeah, I think that kind of works. Wick there, candle body, wicks, and wicks there. So we have a trend line for sure. But to me, all that really matters is that overhead resistance. So a day trade, I want to see a hold of that daily 20, which is stacked right there for that level there. So a breakout, retest. Again, you know what I'm going to say, trim all, leave a runner. There's no way I'm holding a full position on puts into that there. Maybe we break out, we keep running. You're like, man, why did I sell all those? Well, that's fine. Live to fight another day. But you do not want to hold into there and see that reject again. So any pushes up, and if I'm start seeing, you know, like opening range being set and we're rejecting at that wick, like I got to be bearish again for a retrace to at least down into here, maybe down into here. But, you know, that has to break out. AMD right now is only day trade material. I would not be swinging calls right here, and I wouldn't be swinging puts either because it's just at a huge inflection point. We need to see where this opens. If it opens where it closed on Friday, then we're probably going to have a nice battle right here. Man, I'm losing my voice. We're going to have a battle right here at this zone, and we're going to see who wins. A breakout and it goes, and you had puts, again, do not fight it. Look for a retest on some moving averages or an hourly 20, whatever that is, and get bullish on this name. Because if this breaks out over this, it's probably going to move, and it's probably going to move on a continuation day, meaning multiple days. Can I be wrong? Absolutely. But we see that price action there, you guys. We get under, what happens? Under, what happens? Over, we see that big explosive move. Okay. Do not be late to this play. People that were requesting in the chat are looking at it. Very, very tradable. If we say we gap down or open under, we just got to look for dips to buy. 120, huge level for sure. Nice cluster support down here at 120. All right, making sure I'm caught up on the chat. User BB wants GE calls. That's General Electric, I think. Or no, is that GE Aerospace? Interesting. Let's see here. Let me check this chart with you. It's a fresh chart. That's nice. I'm immediately seeing a trend break. I love that. I'm immediately seeing 3 moving averages now stacked underneath. I like that. All right, let me get a couple levels here because we got some definite rejection here. I want to see why it's rejecting. Yep. That candle body close and rejection. Look at that price action there. Look at that price action there. Again, old support is now resistance. So I'm already going to show or suggest a breakout retest this level here. User BB, username BB, that is. Yeah, because we got some nice levels to play with. But again, like I always say, I don't, it's easy to look at the chart afterwards. I'm not going to buy the dip down here or watch the dip get bought for 5 days and then watch us smash up against this level here and then go, okay, now I want calls. Okay, so this basically 183 flat. Does that make sense to everybody? How we sell down rejections, we get over pushes. Okay, so this one should be fairly easy for us, like I talk about on almost every ticker. A breakout retest, what does that give us? a higher low continuation, pretty much right there. Maybe it doesn't work out that easy. That'd be awesome if it does. So any pre-market action here, a dip down, you try and buy that dip. Okay. There's probably going to be a battle. It's going to be buyers and sellers fighting it out. And hopefully sellers give up and buyers continuation. Okay. Because we're buying the dip on Friday's close. We're buying the dip on Thursday, probably pre-market action there. And then over this way, old support from however long ago. So this has to hold 183 for me to be bullish on this continuation, because we're in the daily chart. You've seen how many smackdowns happen here. So any opens under, or we open over and we sell through it, I'm now bullish on this name for a day trade, at least to down here. And then we sell through, catch all these candle body closes all the way down. Or again, like buying dips or puts, wait for a big support, something like this to try your shot at some puts, or some calls, excuse me. So if you're buying calls in a downtrend, it has to make sense. You can't just go, okay, calls are cheaper, I'm going to try them here. They have to make sense on where you're doing it. Like this lines up with this, okay? This lines up with this and over here. So it has to make sense, you guys. But again, any holds over, continuation. There's a lot of levels in between, but these are some three big easy ones for trim all the way up. Nice requesting, and you guys are doing great. Norvin, GEV. Well, what's that doing after hours? And why is every one of your requests freaking all-time high, brother? I mean, come on. I love you, but come on, dude. How do we trade this? Oh, we need a back test. I'm not going to tell people or anyone to buy something all-time highs. Never, ever. I don't care if it goes another 30% tomorrow. I'm wrong. So a trend line touch. I don't know if I like that. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4 touches there. Better for me a back test of, actually, let me get out of this. A back test of a zone or a pocket of, I could comfortably say buy that dip into there. Oops, that was dumb. I meant the other drawing. Yeah, I want to see a back test into that level there. I just can't. I can't buy something all-time high. Any back test of that, and I like that. But that's just how I trade, man. Again, something all-time highs. I'm not gonna be the one buying the top. Just not for me. But any breakout retest, 397 basically, definitely. Oh, you're in share. It's fine then. Ride that wave. Walmart, love it. Love that request. I am eyeing Walmart for some swings, long-term swings, but I need to see some price action first. I need to see some things happen. So thank you for that request. Let me gather my thoughts here. So things I like on Walmart for a bullish setup. It can go either way, but there's more reasons on this name as of now to be bullish than bearish. So 91.3, big buybacks. Okay, sold through. So again, like I say, you want to learn charting. Look at candlesticks. This candle here opened here. The high of that day, I'm not going to say it pushed up right because I don't know until we zoom in, but the high of that candle is here. The low of that candle is here, and they bought that all the way back up to support. So you guys are new to trading, and don't just look at a candlestick and go, okay, it's a candlestick with a big wick. Like this says that is a huge buyback. Okay, that is a huge reclaim of 91.30. gap up over, sell down. They try to get under 91.30 again, big buyback, closed up here. Okay, so that's why, you know, first instinct is I want to be, you know, for swings, that is, we can day trade this all day. Adria, I think I'm saying your name right, Adria. We can day trade this both ways all day. So I guess I'll give some day trade perspective. But for swings, okay, since I mentioned it, I put in the small port tab. What do we have? What do I like for swings? I see this green line that is now going to curl under, and this 9 is going to curl under like this. And so now we have a nice cross, but we have this overhead, you know, and kind of not a chop, but a little bit of a range here overhead. So again, this is $93. This is $91. Not a huge range. It looks like, you know, if I zoom in on the chart, you know, or expand the chart vertically, it's like, oh man, that's a big zone. Well, if I do this, not really. And so I want to see a trend line break. So I'm going to try and be patient on this name, whether I alert something or give a trade idea. But best case scenario for a swing, I'm okay with a little bit of chop, a little bit of range here, and then get these moving averages stacked. Again, this may not work this perfect, but a trend line break and I'll be long. Well, I will try it long, whether that's late February, March, whatever it is. I don't know when this is going to happen. Or any holds of kind of this upper range here, and then a trend line break. I would probably still swing, but with a smaller position because I'm kind of in the middle of two zones on this, or at least how I see it. So we have an upper range, we have a lower range. You know, cautious if we break out on swings with a partial entry because we can easily come back here. We can do this easily in a day or two, come back. But any sells under, and I'm bearish day trade and a little bit bearish on some swings for puts. But from a day trade perspective, I think this is still day tradable for sure. But I don't love exactly where it's at if we open here tomorrow. So, you know, we're kind of topped out. You know, I guess one could say, you know, if we trade the breakout over Friday's close, but again, we got this trend line. It's going to move a little bit based on, you know, what time frame you're on. But easily, you know, if we hold this level here, take it there, absolutely sell all, or at least sell all for me for a day trade. Any opens under this pocket, you know, we can look to be bearish, but, you know, there's some big buybacks that, you know, this is the top side of a wick, top side of a wick, top side. This is going to act as support. You know, it doesn't look like it just because I don't have a line drawn here, but we got to be careful because you take puts here, that can be a vicious bounce. And, you know, you easily get, you know, looking at a loss for that. So for me, I don't like day trades on puts because also you get moving averages stacked underneath you. So I really need to see a sell under 91.3 for really even day trades or swings on puts. Or you miss this move up and you start seeing multi-day rejections up here, you know, take your shorts because you're looking for price action like that, rejections there, rejections there. Okay. But I don't love it as a day trade to be bearish on. Not that you said either way, but I want to see some price action here. So, you know, because I'm kind of greedy on some swings, I'm hoping we get some consolidation here, and then markets look kind of good, and maybe Walmart is late to the party, get a push up on that. Okay. All right, guys, we are getting pushed up to 6 o'clock. I'm going to do a recap for you guys because some people joined late. Some perspective on the market. Okay. I'm on the 4 hour, then we'll go back to the 1. But so let's look at this 595.43. Maybe you guys that joined late, that thick line. Okay. Any dips into this level? I'm not going to say any day this week because, well, it depends how we come into this level. So if we open, you know, let's just say we open around 598. First plan of action, you buy your dips at 598 for what I think is an easy day up to 600. Okay. I'm not saying we have to get there Monday, but an easy week. If 598 holds, 600 comes easy. Okay. 598 sells tomorrow, or we range and we sell down under 598 Tuesday. This comes easy. Okay. We're day traders. Let's not be picky on what we get. Just looking at, we look at chart structure. We sell under this cluster from Friday, we're probably going to be bearish on the day. Okay. We hold that cluster. We're probably going to push up minimum to Friday's high. And I think, like I said, I think 600 comes easy. It's a big level. It's a round psychological number. Let's see if sellers are there. Okay. Any sells under 595.43, or excuse me, any sells into it, you buy your dips, because I think that's going to hold. I would expect it to hold. Okay. Any sells under, early in the week, I think that's a bearish signal on the week. I'm not saying, we're going to 550 or 560. I'm just saying a break of or a breach of a huge support level. Again, to me, that's going to trigger at least to this level here, come down this zone here where that happens, or a day or 3 days, 2 days, whatever it is. But two important zones to watch this week, 595.43 and 598. Clear 600. Bulls are on parade. Bulls are running with it. I don't know how far we go. Who knows? Okay. QQQ, similar thesis. Still in drawing mode, sorry. Okay. Drawing mode, excuse me. My notes from Friday. Yeah, 522 to 523. Big overhead resistance zone. I won't be long there until we break out. That was my notes from Friday. Where do we reject Friday? Not bragging, just trying to help you guys learn. 522 to 523. Okay. What's my game plan? I set you up for that one. It's easy. Any breakouts over, get long, stay long, will probably trend. Any price action like this from Friday, and we are probably going to do two things. We will range in this pocket. I doubt we'll range all day, but if bulls give up there, I think that's probably a hard sell. Back test to 518. Okay. Any opens under 522, probably a back test to 518. I'm not saying we get there in a day, but to me, that's what it, how I trade. And I look at market structure on moves, on over and under, stuff like that. I'm looking for a back test 518. If we get there, or say we gap down, we sell hard into it, absolutely. Take your calls. Not saying it's going to hold, but okay, how do you buy calls at support? So you get, minimal loss and max reward. That's how you do it. You find big levels. Or we hold this level here, we break over. Okay, that's your stop out zone. That's a reward, potentially all the way up there. Okay, because we broke, what is that signal? We broke Friday's high, we broke last week's high. Easy to get long and stay long on the market, or on QQQ at least. But any sells under, you guys, I think we'll back test that 518. Best way to do it, if you don't trade the open, or if you don't like to trade the open, set some alerts. For me, 523. I'll probably send an alert tomorrow and say, hey, are we breaking over? Confirm breakout, get long. Or if we open over it, send an alert for 522. Oh, it just triggered. We open below it, get bearish. Because we broke VWAP, we broke moving averages, we broke the hourly 20, we broke this cluster here. You look for reasons to get bullish and bearish on each setup. You must always have a trade plan. With that, you guys, thank you for the requests, all 22 of you. All of them were very good, you guys. I appreciate it. Let's have a good week. We have officially a short week, only a 4-day week. So let's trade smart, you guys. Let's start the week off smart. If you have any questions, you guys, send me a DM. I'll get to them tomorrow morning pre-market. With that, you guys, have a great night. Talk to you later.